Is it a boom? Yes, it is. Hey, welcome to Wednesday Words in the Australian Poetry Hall of Famer, Thundercloud, boom, riparian, washing away the garbage, leaving rainbows after rain. So let's have some fun and linguistic games on this Wednesday Words open mic night here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. I think I said that already. Hey, hi Skye.
Hi.
Hello audience out there in YouTube world, TikTok world, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, welcome subscribers. Don't forget to give this a thumb up and comment Aussie poetry in the comments underneath. Please, this will help with the algorithm. All right, what's been happening here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame? Tomorrow, Thursday, we've got fantastic photographer Gary Guest coming to do a workshop. A photographic workshop on how to take fantastic photos with your phone and enhance them using Snapseed, free software on your phone. We've got the market on Saturday from 8:30 till 12:32 as well. So that's all exciting. Now, last week for Wednesday Words I did Spike Milligan, which was a big influence on me as a child. Well, one of the other books that had a lot of influence on me for poetry-wise as a child, like my mum read a lot to me, so did my dad, told stories and stuff, was this one, More Australian Poetry for Fun. This was given to me in 1975 to James from Nola and Bob, Christmas 1975. And I've still got it, which is pretty cool, I reckon, because it's a really great book. And I'm going to start, it's got a selection of Australian poets of the time, plus a few by Anon, our favourite anonymous poet. We'll start with Wombats. It is Australian poetry for fun. It's really for children, but it's for anyone really. Wombats. Every clever wombat, every wombat knows how to dig potatoes with his nose and toes. Digging up potatoes, sniffle snuffle in the earth he goes, digging up potatoes with his nose and toes. And then that was by Pixie O'Harris. This one by Evelyn Dare, Arabella Spider. Arabella was a spider climbing up the wall. Arabella said, I'm clever, I won't ever fall. Arabella was quite clever. She walked up the wall. Then she went across the ceiling and she didn't fall. And then there's The Pet Shop Man by James Scasebrook. The Pet Shop Man has lots of cats and fish and rats and even bats, grubs and worms and crawling thingos. But why, oh why, has he no dingoes? All right, well, one that I got, this one was definitely my favourite. Two little dogs went out for a walk and it was windy weather, and for fear the wind should blow them away, they tied their tails together. They tied their tails with a yard of tape, and the wind it blew and blew, as sharp and keen as a carving knife, and cut the tape in two. And away, like kites in the air, those two little dogs flew about, till one little dog was blown away and the other turned inside out. Yep, that was by Anonymous, Anon. This one I could probably relate to at the moment because we have a lot of little flies buzzing around Guyra on the hot days. It's been a lovely day here in Guyra, lovely and cool, 22 degrees, and no flies about today. They've all gone and looking for the warm places. Flies by Irene Goff. Flies, they take you by surprise. They get in your mouth and they get in your eyes. Flies, 100 tries to swim in the soup and dance in the pies. I spray them and shout at them. You'd think they would know they haven't any welcome, and I wish they'd go. Yeah, what I do, I just say, they're annoying me. I say, listen, flies, I won't kill you if you don't land on me, and then they don't land on me. Yeah, they're pretty clever. Joan Mellings, this is called Corroboree. Hear the beat of the native drum from the wild corroboree dance. The bushland echoes, the hillsides hum, and with a rhythm that haunts and enchants. Gumleaf whistle and didgeridoo shatter the still of the night. Glistening bodies in bold tattoo move in a shadowy light. See the sun rise over the hill, leaves a tremble with dew. The dance is ended, the air is still, and the day's very new. Hear the beat of the native drum from the wild corroboree dance. The bushland echoes, the hillside hums, with a rhythm that haunts and enchants. Now I've just got two more that I'm going to do before I invite Skye up, because Skye's got a very important meeting that she's got to zoom off to. And, well, it's Simon Quirke, and this was the one that prompted me to read this, because I was at poetry last night and my mum sent me a message. What was that poem like that Simon Quirke, who refused to work? Was that Spike Milligan? I said, no, it was from my book that I got when I was like 5 years old. And this is it. So, Mum, Nola, Simon Quirke. Simon Quirke refused to work. He sat around all day. In his chair he rocked, and his friends were shocked to see him fade away. He dreamt of money and bread and honey, strawberry pie and cream. But what good is that? You won't get fat when food is just a dream. Simon saw, outside the door, a bright little ice cream van. He jumped to his feet, ran into the street and waved to the ice cream man. Simon Quirke, who refused to work and sat and rocked and sat, ate a lot of ice cream that wasn't a dream. Now Simon Quirke is fat. Wow, politically incorrect these days. Now Simon Quirke is big boned. I don't know about that. He's a little overweight. He's obese, actually. You're looking at the picture. He went from very, very skinny, like a stick Simon, to a ball Simon.
Yeah.
Well, Skye Campen's here. She's going to read Mollie McNutt to us, and she's practicing, because on the 2nd of March, we've got the 3 poets. We're heading off, the Bush Poets, to the Hillgrove Hotel, which is a sort of a gig that they do once a month in Hillgrove. The locals get together in the local hall. They have a picnic barbecue thing with a few drinks, and they put on an act on the thing. So they've invited the Bush Poets from Gaia up. So there'll be myself, there'll be Skye, and there'll be Steve Wordsmith coming as well. So that will be an exciting night, 2nd of March at Hillgrove. All right, Skye Campen, come on up. Mollie McNutt, it's your turn to shine. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Kookaburras. Hark! What gay, hilarious laughter echoes to each woodland rafter. Kookaburras chuckling gaily over new jokes discovered daily. In one wild, infectious chorus, optimistics of bushland forests, pearls their laughter with the morning, toil and trouble gaily scorning, quaint grey birds for mirth. Quaint grey birds, but right, courageous, finding food for mirth outrageous, even in the darkest weather, chuckling, chortling all together.
Yay! Oh, can you do that kookaburra noise for us?
The one that you think is fake.
Mm. Oh, well done.
I think it's a pretty good kookaburra.
Oh, it's definitely. Mm.
Well, you reckon it's a monkey voice?
I think kookaburras sound like monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got buttercups, like fetid sunbeams glowing on slender I'm going to start again. I've been trying to practice this thing. Today, this thing's too high. Like fetid sunbeams glowing on slender shafts of green, with shy spring breezes blowing their shining heads between, the buttercups are dancing adown the bushland ways, with golden glory glancing, they've set the world ablaze, abrim with golden sunshine, ashine with crystal dew, each blooms a flowery gold mine with treasure trove for you. O brown bees, honey making, where burnished petals part, there's store of sweets for taking in every golden heart. In each curved petal holden, the sunshine gold is fast, and the memories olden, they bring from out the past, gold dower of this and far lands, the children's flowers, we gathered them for garlands in childhood's golden hours, and still through sunny play hours I hear the children shout, "He'll come a gathering wildflowers, the buttercups are out." And who likes butter calling, while weaving jewelled chains, mid gum tree shadows falling, in grassy bushland lanes? Buttercups of bushland, how you my heart enthrall, your beauty gems the grassland, where my footsteps fall, and to you, gaily growing, I bring this meed of praise, fair buttercups are blowing through glad October days.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
That it? One more?
One more?
Yeah.
All right. To this one. What are shells on the sunlit beaches? Are they blooms of the sea? Rainbow tinted, fragile, fashioned? Can they sea kings jewels be? Nay, more wondrous far than either are those jewels from the foam, each soft tinted, tiniest shell's beam, some wee creature's fairy home.
What was that called, Shell?
Oh, that was called shells.
Shells.
Did I not say that? Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, what have I got for you now? That back up. What have I got for you? Well, I got a Gyra poem to start with. Actually, I've got The Unexpected Visitor. Just speaking to Gladys Wilson today, and she's lost her last brother just this week, so that's in 5 weeks, her last 2 brothers. So our thoughts go out to the Wilson family and everything, our condolences as well, and we wish them all well. So the following poem was written when a fellow that I knew up here passed away. I went for a walk, and his name was Ray Martin, but not like Ray Martin, like the TV personality, but it was the same name, Ray Martin. And I went for a walk, and there was a cloudy afternoon, and the sun peeked through the clouds and made this ray of sunshine come down, and it was a love heart, a bit like this photograph here. It's called The Unexpected Visitor. I received an unexpected visitor today, the spirit of a man who recently passed away. He loved country music and his name was Ray. And these were the words that he had to say. Death isn't where the living ends. My soul's just fine. Please tell my friends. Rivers flow to the sea around many bends and come from the rains that the cloud sends. From between the clouds broke a ray of sunshine, saying, life, change and death transforms the divine. Do what you love and don't always toe the line. When the rains pass, the weather becomes fine. The next thing I heard was a message for me. Love comes from within, costs nothing, is free. Past and future are memories in the moment. Just be and flow like that river going down to the sea. Water runs in the gutters and flows down the street. The trees and the pastures think rain is a treat. Growing peaches and cherries, juicy and sweet, rain provides water and grows things to eat. Ducks in the lagoon open wings and fly like souls of the passed away after they die, saying, celebrate life, smile, laugh and don't cry. After the rain falls, there are times that it's dry. Never give up and keep on down that track. Life is a roller coaster and I'll be coming back. Wheels on the rails, clickety-clack, click-clack. The sun still shines above clouds that are black. This was the message from a passed away friend. As the earth spins, the day and night never ends. Sun rays travel straight lines and do not bend. Cry like the rain falling, and from loss we all mend. The clouds closed and the sun ray went away. This was the last message that he had to say. Live with love in each moment of every day. Dance, sing, laugh in this theatre of life that's a play. The Unexpected Visitor. Thank you. That was one that I wrote back then when Ray passed away. And I remember I did attend Ray's memorial there, and Brian Irving, the painter of this painting, was here. And yeah, we spoke at that time, and they were good friends, Ray and Brian. And they both grew up here in Guyra and went to school together, so they'd known each other their whole life. So the following one is one that I've written this week, titled A Guyra Love Poem. This was written for Valentine's Day next week. Oh, Guyra's the place where mountains hold sway. Nature's beauty unfolds each and every day. Rolling hills whisper secrets untold. Waterbirds sing stories as wings unfold. A community warm with a welcoming hand, friendships embrace like the golden wattle's hand. History whispers of bushrangers' bold arts, vibrant hues, tales silently unfold. Fresh from the fields, flavours burst on the tongue, potatoes and tomatoes and poetry sung. Festivals abound, laughter floats on the breeze, blue sky and fresh air, hearts at perfect ease. So come, wander free, let your spirit unwind, in Gyra's embrace, peace and solace you'll find. From this sun-kissed dawn to star-lit night's gleam, this highland town, a soul's perfect dream. You got a meeting, haven't you, to go to?
Yes, I do.
All right, enjoy your meeting. All right, I'll just hold the show together on my own, which I'm quite capable of. Hey, and now while you're out there in YouTube world watching the poetry here, which is just yours truly and Skye tonight, it will grow. Make sure you leave a comment, Aussie poetry, in the comment section, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, then you're missing out on notifications of fantastic new poetry nights coming up as they come up. Yes, they do come up. All right, look, we're coming up to Valentine's Day next week, and the next few poems I'm going to do are some from Rumi. Now, Rumi is known as a love poet, and this is the Essential Rumi. Basically, that's the name of the book. Yeah, and he wrote a lot about love and stuff like that. Page 100 is the one I'm looking for. Being a lover, the sunrise ruby. The sunrise ruby, in the early morning hour, just before dawn, lover and beloved wake and take a drink of water. She asks, "Do you love me or yourself more? Really, tell the absolute truth." He says, "There's nothing left of me. I'm like a ruby held up to the sunrise. Is it still a stone or a world made of redness? It has no resistance to sunlight." This is how Halaj said, "I am God," and told the truth. The ruby and the sunrise are one. Be courageous and discipline yourself. Completely become hearing and ear, and wear this sun ruby as an earring. Work. Keep digging your well. Don't think about getting off from work. Water is there somewhere. Submit to a daily practice. Your loyalty to that is a ring on the door. Keep knocking, and the joy inside will eventually open a window and look out to see who's there. Rumi, the sunrise ruby. Next one. Water from your spring by Rumi. What was in that candle's light that opened and consumed me so quickly? Come back, my friend. The form of our love is not a created form. Nothing can help me but that beauty. There was a dawn. I remember when my soul heard something from your soul. I drank water from your spring and felt the current take me. You, next one, you sweep the floor by Rumi. The Lord of Beauty enters the soul as a man walks into an orchard in spring. Come into me, that way again. Light the lamp in the eye of Joseph. Cure Jacob's sadness, though you never left. Come and sit down here and ask, Why are you so confused? Like a fresh idea in an artist's mind, you fashion things before they come into being. You sweep the floor like the man who keeps the doorway. When you brush a form clean, it becomes what it truly is. You guard your silence perfectly, like a water bag that doesn't leak. You live where shams live, because your heart donkey was strong enough to take you there. The next one, Each Note by Rumi. Advice doesn't help lovers. They are not the kind of mountain stream you can build a dam across. An intellectual doesn't know what the drunk is feeling. Try to figure what those inside love will do next. Someone in charge would give up all his power if he caught one whiff of the wine musk from the room where the lovers are doing who knows what. One of them tries to dig a hole through a mountain. One flees from academic honours. One laughs at famous moustaches. Life freezes if it doesn't get a taste of this almond cake. The stars come up spinning every night, bewildered in love. They'd grow tired with that revolving if they weren't. They'd say, "How long do we have to do this?" God picks up the reed flute world and blows. Each note is a need coming through one of us, a passion, a longing pain. Remember the lips where the wind breath originated, and let your note be clear. Don't try to end it. Be your note. I'll show you how it's enough. Go up on the roof at night in this city of the soul. Let everyone climb on their roofs and sing their notes. Sing loud! Next one, Granite and Wineglass by Rumi. You are granite, I am empty wineglass. You know what happens when we touch. You laugh like the sun coming up laughs at a star that disappears into it. Love opens my chest and thought returns to its confines. Patience and rational considerations leave. Only passion stays, whimpering and furvish. Some men fall down in the road like dregs thrown out. Then, totally reckless, the next morning, they gallop out with new purposes. Love is the reality, and poetry is the drum that calls us to that. Don't keep complaining about loneliness. Let the fear language of that theme crack open and float away. Let the priest come down from his tower and not go up. Music Master. You that love lovers, this is your home. Welcome. In the midst of making form, love made this form that melts form, with love for the door, soul the vestibule. Watch the dust grains moving in the light near the window. Their dance is our dance. We rarely hear the inward music, but we're all dancing to it nevertheless. Directed by the one who teaches us the pure joy of the sun, our music master. When I'm with you, we stay up all night. When you are not here, I can't go to sleep. Praise God for these two insomnias and the difference between them. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. they're in each other all along. We are the mirror as well as the face in it. We are the taste, tasting this minute of eternity. We are pain, and what cures pain? Both. We are the sweet, cold water and the jar that pours. I want to hold you close like a lute, so that we can cry out with loving. You would rather throw stones at a mirror? I am your mirror, and here are the stones. So there's some stories or poems from the Essential Rumi. Now I'm going to move on to a bit of old Australian bush verse. This one that I'm going to do was published in Australian Bush Ballads, edited by Douglas Stewart and Nancy Keesing. It was published by Times House, first published by Angus and Robertson in 1955. This copy was 1984. The poem that I'm reading is by someone called C.G.A. Colles, C-O-L-L-E-S. And it's called The Ring of Death. You may have seen the images in the media at the moment of Western Queensland, the Channel Country. The Channel Country is extremely flat with all of these channels and waterways through it. And when it really floods up north, the Channel Country becomes one enormous sea that goes on for miles and kilometres and kilometres and kilometres. Really huge. In fact, in one year I remember that so much of Queensland was underwater that it was an area the size bigger than the size of the country France. So that's how much water spreads out. And this is a tragic tale in the Channel Country by C.G.A. Colles, The Ring of Death. Where the Burke comes down to the level plains and junctions with the Wills by the overflow in the King's Creek branch, which the wide, warm torrent fills. Ere the floods go creeping down to the tracks where the huge Georgina flows, you still may see the raft heap ring where the old tribe fought its foes. Hard by the Bullia track it lies on a rising dune of sand, the ring of mounds in a desert place in a lonely level land. Here did the Kurrabulka fight their last grim fight of all, in the rain and dark with unseen foes, as the water sapped their wall. The drought had dried up the water holes, and the very dogs were thin, and out of its ancient fastness the tribe was gathered in. The game was gone, and the fish were gone, and the mickeries were dry. Even the carnies had disappeared, and the food had all gone by. Karoo, Karoo, the old grey man had gone at the dusk alone, even thrice to the waterhole, and taken the sacred stone. The magic stone that commands the rain, wonderful, secret, white, that only the chosen one may use, and that in the gloom of night. For this is the priceless Naapa stone that came to the tribe of old, that never a jinn may see and live, and never a child behold. He had plunged it into the shallow pond to work the magic of rain. He had ground its fine dust into his palm and blown it about in vain. The old men sitting about the fire spoke now of something of fear. A black man's ghost had whistled by night, and the whistle was low and near. They felt that a curse was on the land, and few were the words they said, but they knew that some ill-doer afar had pointed the bone of dread. So northward, over the stricken land, was the walkabout begun, bearing east by the river beds, long parched by the fervent sun. Still and hot was the wide expanse, with ne'er a tree or blade, eternal flames that touched the skies and offered no pleasant shade. All day long the burning earth, lean with the drought and bare, night and hunger and glowing stars, dawn and a new day's glare, jinns with their burdens toiling on, men with their spears and shields, and the mocking mirage across the downs with phantom Elysian fields. From out of the hot northwestern haze came trailers of misty shrouds. High overhead in a breathless sky rolled the deep banks of clouds. Then rain, continuous rain, came down from the floodgates of the sky. Unwanted waters were on the earth, and the long dry creeks ran high. By ancient law of an ancient land began the desperate race for the sole high dune at the overflow and the old-time camping place. For the Kurrabulka knew of how the creeping waters spread in a great relentless moving sea from the winding riverbed. As the waters rose and the night came on, to the camping place they came. The setting sun through a mist of rain went down like a languid flame. And still the yellow waters rose through thin lapanya trees, up and over the cooler bars came surging the tepid seas. The men who had warred with drought so long prepared the flood to fight. They heaped a rampant out of the sand by aid of the waning light. Yet ever the hungry seas encroached, and ever the sand mounds grew on the tiny island amid the tide that out of the darkness drew. Then a gin screamed out in sudden fear and rolled on the ground and died, and the rain swept down and the torrents seethed, and aloud the children cried. A man at the earthworks reeled and fell with a snake clenched in his fist, and another lurched on the wall and groaned as the small fangs seared his wrist. Green were the snakes with beady eyes, they came on the warm flood's breast, searching them out a harbour safe and seeking a place of rest. White snakes, adders and lean black snakes, and they of the carpet skin, mulga snakes with scarlet scales and sand snakes brown and thin, driven out of their ancient haunts where long they'd grown and bred, in giddier scrub in the river grass by the droughty river bed. Borne away by the rising floods that over the whole world ran, they came the snakes to the harbourage to fight for a place with man. The jinns had built up a fitful flare to drive back the shrouding night. They piled the last of the gundi sticks to help with the feeble light. And still as the walls were heaped apace, the merciless waters rose, and over the rampart gilded in the legions of venomed foes. Red and dull in the turmoil's midst, flickered and failed the fire, as children flung to the earth and shrieked, and shrieking died in a mire. and splashing, desperate at their work with fear in their sobbing breath, men went beating at unseen foes that writhed as they dealt out death. And still as the ghastly night wore on, the countless reptiles came, squirming among the heaps of dead that ringed round the dying flame. The camp grew still in its last long sleep, save for a hardy few. And at length, when the grey, wet dawn came up, its light was beheld by two that had taken flight of fear and swum to a ragged tree that reared its head from the seething waste and stemmed the rolling sea. Huddled up on the quaking limbs with fear in their eyes they lay, and ever as snakes came down the flood they struck and beat them away. Slowly the mighty floods went down, and the roaring spates decreased. Slowly the waste of waters sank and the torrents ebbed and ceased. A man and boy, lean and weak and worn, came down to the earth to stand. The last of the Kurrabulkas, they, to walk in a lonely land. They stood and stared at the ring of death, where all of their tribe lay still, circled round with the mounds of sand on the crest of the little hill. They turned and went from the smitten place where all of their world was stark, the tribe that had warred with unseen foes in hunger and rain and dark. Where the Burke comes down to the level plain and joins with the roaring rills by the overflow at the King's Creek branch and joins with the roaring rills. You may see the mounds by the Bullier track that served for their rampant wall when the ancient Kurrabulkas fought their last great fight of all. That's a pretty powerful poem, that, and it's a part of history that is very important and probably very unknown to most people unless they've read this book. Right, now it's time for me to get on to what I have written this week here in Guyra at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. What have I written? I know what I've written. I've written quite a few things, really. Well, we'll start with a gratitude poem. So, unless you earn less than $6.85 per day, there's not much to complain about. So let's see. We'll start with figures first. 31.5% or 1.7 billion people on this planet live without bank accounts. So they purely use cash, which means they can only exchange between each other. They can't do any online shopping, internet shopping, or send money around the world without going into Western Union and paying huge fees. In 2022, 3.7 billion were living on less than $6.85 a day. 3.7 billion people live on less than $6.85 a day. Yes. So this is a gratitude poem to be grateful for Australia for living where we do, one of the most wealthy and abundant countries on the planet, because some tradie the other day was whinging, having a whinge that he couldn't afford to pay rent on his tradie wage or maybe even his apprentice wage, but I don't know, but my sons certainly as tradies can manage their money quite well and live very comfortably. So this is gratitude for Australia. In Australia, greetings begin with good day or g'day. You can write or say whatever you want to say. Millions is given in welfare every day. Healthcare is free with Medicare, hey? No one in Australia dies of starvation any day. Medicines cost very little to pay. It's peaceful and safe in many, many ways. At the beach, we don't have to pay to play. People are freely allowed to pray. It's the most abundant country. What more is there to say? So, unless you earn less than $6.85 per day, STFU, quit your bitch and whinge and complain and be grateful for what you have every day. That was written 5 days ago. Here's one. Now, I'm not sure if you've considered this, but we are currently going through probably the largest revolution on the planet since the internet. We're going through the blockchain revolution where people will be able to trade and exchange currencies without banks involved, and it's quite likely that within our lifetime our children will end up not knowing banks. Here we go. Blockchain technology is here to stay. It's never going away. Even governments accept it today, embrace it or be left behind, and have a nice life and have a nice day. The end. Quatrain. Here's another quatrain. Think about this. Let's begin again. Quatrain. Think about this. What if other people don't exist? And the life we live is a dream and things aren't what they seem. For many things are left unsaid, the living daily become the dead, and everything, including time, is a manifestation of the mind of yours and mine. Ta-da. Okay. And this one was inspired by Rumi there, called Eternal Love. Not a tree, not a Christian, Muslim, Jew, or a bumblebee, not a religion or socio-cultural system, neither southern, northern, nor eastern, nor western, never broken nor beaten, spring from the life of one and the unity of two. Breathe deep, feel me. I am the eternal love that flows from inside you. Eternal love. That's one that I wrote this week. All right. Well, I'm just about at the end of the night, really. I haven't really got anything else to do for you, except I do have one that I'm going to do for you. And I'm going to sing you a song because all day this song's been going in my head and it's just brilliant. It's a cappella song I'm going to sing to you. It's called Anthem, and it was written by Leonard Cohen. Anthem. The birds they sang at the break of day, start again, I heard them say, don't dwell on what has passed away, or what is yet to be. The wars, they will be fought again. The holy dove, she will be caught again. Bought and sold and bought again. The dove is never free. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. We asked for signs. The signs were sent. The birth betrayed. The marriage spent. Yeah, and the widowed of every single government. Signs for all to see. I can't run no more with that lawless crowd, while killers in high places say their prayers out loud. But they've summoned up a thundercloud. They're gonna hear from me. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can add up the parts, but you won't have the sum. You can strike up the mark, there is no drum. Every heart to come to love will come, but like a refugee. Ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. That's how the light gets in. Anthem by Leonard Cohen, and in my opinion, one of the great poets of, wow, he only died in 2016, so yeah, fantastic poem. If you're into it, check out some of his writing and some of his lyrics there on the web. All right, well, I'm Thundercloud, washing away the garbage, leaving behind the rainbow, and I'm here in Wednesday Words, holding it together for the team who's all the way, and we will see you next week here in Guyra for Wednesday Words. Boom.